Okay, so we're a little bit late to getting into the match. We apologize for that, but welcome everybody to the European coverage for the Challengers Elite Playoff Community Stream. My name is Seymour, joined with Pablo, and we got Katana versus Team Ben W. Pablo, I'm ready for the search. We're in the skyline. It's already a couple rounds through.
Yeah, man. I mean, we are diving straight in. There's no messing around. These guys want to get things done and dusted, and I don't blame them. It's been a grueling couple of weeks with a couple of pub cups and stuff. Nice little break for them at the weekend, but this is all about when it gets done tonight. And it always feels a little bit more serious when it's the last Thursday. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Obviously, I would say on paper, Katana looking to be the favourites in this, but Team Ben W. I mean, we've seen Ben. I've seen Ben play in real life, and he's incredible. And obviously, we've got a couple of players like Overlay and Lampy, and we've seen what CJP can do at LAN as well. So these guys are no slouches, and S&D is definitely a place where they can thrive as well. So, Colin, looking forward to another cast with you, my brother, and
Yes,
let's
sir.
get some COD on the way.
Let's get it done, brother. It's going to be round number 2. Advantage to Katana. Bomb down. What it looks like over towards the A site, but Lampy with a trade is going to at least even things up for the meantime for Team Ben W. Overlay with some information to Cobra in the back, and a nice shutdown there is going to give an edge now to Team Ben W for this round. Hopefully looking to equalize on Skyline, and I like this call. The flood through top. Brezzy's going to have himself a little bit of trouble with this one, but the timing is good, and he's snuck through. The bomb's recovered, 20 seconds, and Brezzy can open it all up and shut this one down. Bomb getting planted. Aspect is going to find the players in. Finally, Super here to play alongside him. 2 versus 2. Shut down by Katana. They tie it up.
Yeah, that's going to be parity restored and some of the experience coming out of the big Frenchman and Paul Brzezinski doing well with that Overwatch there just to get a couple of kills. And Super, speaking to him at the weekend, he's just so comfortable with the SMG. You know, he's moved to that AR role more permanently than he did at the start of the season, but he still loves it. He still loves the pace that it gives him, but despite being such a competent AR. So that is going to restore things against Team Ben W. But again, you're talking about, you know, the gap between these two sides at times may seem significant on paper, but in reality, it isn't that much at all. So it's going to be down to Team Katana now on the offensive to try and get Bomb down and see if they can take an early lead. Team Ben W looking like a little bit more cautious. Usually see that Colin that push right into mid, but it is going to be a little bit of caution between the two teams.
Caution until Brezzy's going to find that swing. It's a trade out from Team Ben W, and Super wants to equalize, but there's some good help coming in from Team Ben W, and they slay out at A. Pablo. The attacks are reigning true. Or I think that was the defense actually shutting it down on either side. I have it a little bit backwards as I'm trying to find my bearings into the search and destroy so far, but that is some good shoulder-to-shoulder gameplay from Team Ben W inside that A site. Nobody letting an angle through for Katana, and the winning those individual gunfights, not allowing anybody to trade out from Katana, that keeps them in the lead.
Yeah, absolute work from Team Ben W there. Katana again on the back foot. Going to look to do this on the defensive side. So there's going to be a big push over towards A. We expect to see a little bit of a gunfight over towards that middle kitchen section. You can see Cobra just going to be that player looking to get my piano stairs, and CJP already pushed quite a way up, so a little bit of geography taken. Thought he was going to get the surprise. Then there's going to be 2 players that drop the Team Ben W and only 1 falling for Katana. We see Overlay now left, Colin in that 1v3.
Overlay brings it into a 1v2, trying to get away. 27 HP. Can he stay alive for the regen? Doesn't realize that the chase was on for a second, but he is going to get a second chance at this one. 48 seconds, Pablo. This round is far from over. The only issue is that Bomb is down, and Katana know that. So I like this call from the 2 of them. Cobra and Aspect just going to double up on this point. Overlay cutting the noise for the second. And hoping to see if you can draw any mistakes out from this team. A kill would make this so much easier for himself, but he's got to put the pedal to the metal. Swings around, Aspect taking some damage. Close around the corner is the trade, and Super not going to let that get too far from him. So excellent work again from Katana to trade out for the defense, and so far, so good on that defensive side. Nobody's just able to crack the code on offense.
Well, we're not going to be Googling overlay for that clutch because he just fails at the last hurdle there. But very close. He got the kill and he just read it wrong. I think he would have stayed on that kind of angle he'd taken. I think he probably would have got the clutch there. But this is going to come through for him. Parity restored. Again, we're bouncing back and forth, Colin. I do feel like this is potentially going to go all the way. We talk about the smell of around 11, but this is already heavy with the waft. There's going to be just some suppressive fire going out from Cobra as we see player just pushing through vents area. He's going to get himself in that kind of heavy overwatch position there. There's going to be Cobra just
Full
backing
flame
up
coming
again.
out.
A little bit concerned there, wasn't he? I think he knew that might be the case and decided to back up, look for a transition.
Well, he has to make it fast, but Pinch comes through. 3v2 for Katana, looking for the first offensive round. Overlay, equalized, now all alone. CJP, can he clutch up? The read is good. He's here with the Jackal in hand, but the chase now, 23 seconds. He's got time. Can he find the kill? He can! Ooh. CJP keeping the defensive streak going. A big clutch in the 2v1, and Team BenW reeling to keep them in this game.
Yeah, we talked about CJP obviously in the past, and he's a player that I really got to see at Middlesbrough LAN last year. He was incredible at times, and I'm just interested to see, obviously online, he's just able to transition that kind of performance and those abilities and putting some really, some of the players in this ex-CDL, future CDL players we're talking about, he's putting absolutely to the sword. So big plays coming out of Team BenW, solid mullet power, as we like to say. Big Ben, I'm sure he's got a bet on his own abilities, but it is going to be BenW with the first blood. Make that 2, Ben. Mullet power. Oh. He gets taken down in the end, but he's made it a 2v2.
Good chance here for the offense still. Katana nearly getting an offensive round in the past. If Team BenW can pull through with this one, a 2-round gap on a Skyline can do wonders, but Super's going to have the timing here, gets the information, gives himself away. That bomb's still looking to get planted by Overlay. Lampy looking to just provide some overwatch, and it actually doesn't get planted. They're going to hop off this one, look to take the kills. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay off, and Cobra is going to put Overlay against the odds.
Yep, Overlay again in this situation. He was 2 rounds ago where he was to clutch up, and he did manage to get a pick, but not able to get the trade follow-up. So, again, just about a little bit of information goes a long way. He is going to get the plant, and right now you can see those 2 red arrows waiting for that to go down before they decide to pounce, and they're already on their way. Looking, put a bit of information over towards Pool, and you can see Super just looking to use that pace. He's going to spring out. Is he going to get the pick? No, it is going to be the trade that follows up. It is going to be Cobra with the pick and with the defuse as well. That's going to be parity restored. No one, Colin, yet to break serve in this game. You feel as soon as that happens, there's a good chance that that team will go on to win, unless we do just keep ping-ponging all the way to that round 11.
And I mean, how many times have we seen a clutch scenario so far for either team? 1v2s, 1v3s, 1v1s. It's been a very neck-and-neck Skyline so far, Pablo. So, whoever can get that offensive round, you have to say that's going to be the team to pull away with the map. Neither team has been able to get that one done. Do we trade defense for defense all the way to 6? As he's going to cook a nade out towards the patio. Nobody there to receive it. You got a player trying to hit that quick flank. Lampy all the way at the top of Cobble steps. He finds one. Can he get 2? He's got help. And CJP there for the assist. Aspect fortunately looking for some space the other way, but he's all alone in a 1 versus 3. Would have to be the clutch. Pops up, finds a second, but that's all you get.
And that's going to be a lead taken for Team BenW. Again, Aspect just not able to reposition after the second kill and get that there. The trade comes sliding in, and that's going to be another lead for Team BenW. Katana just not able to crack the code right now of the team in blue, just really struggling to kind of get a foothold in this S&D, and it's been largely the case for the past few weeks, even the past few cups. They're just not really able to just see things over the line, and for me, it really comes down to the man camera right now. Cobra 5-5, a player that at times can take over a series, and is he going to be able to do that, or is the brilliance and intelligence of BenW going to do things? Well, that never helps.
No, team nade onto yourself. It's a self-nade at that
That's
point.
something I'd do.
That is not what you like to see in the playoffs round 1, but Prezi on the chase. Can he shut things down early? 1 versus 4. NW, I mean, it's your team. Let's see if he can lead them to the promised land. Good shots there onto Prezi, but everybody swarms. There is no chance you escape. 4-4 we go, and I mean, Pablo, at this point, I'm thinking we're going defenses all the way. Like, this offense just does not look clean.
It's wild, isn't it? Just this inability to be able to get bomb down and actually protect it. But it's really a measure of the map more than anything else. Like, obviously, a little bit of controversy. Hacienda comes in, everyone expecting Skyline to drop, but it was Rewind, which is a map I kind of miss now. Let's be perfectly honest.
You and me both.
What is going on? But Skyline, obviously, I think it's entertaining to watch. The players love it as well, by all accounts. So it is going to be this that we're sticking with. But right now, 4v4, the S&D. No one dropped us yet. No first blood. Super with bomb. We do see plenty of hit markers, Colin, but no one dropping the TTK as it is.
That's a good nade.
Almost a miracle.
I mean, that nade's going to help out Lampy to shut down onto the bomb planter, and that's going to send Katana into a little bit of a frenzy. Aspect takes that and gets aggressive. Bomb still hasn't gotten planted. Finally going to go down with the rock, but big shutdown from Ben W. Defense is looking to keep things strong, and they're going to hop that defuse while Ben watches over Lampy and take them to map point on Skyline. Now, this is going to be a big round coming up, Pablo, because round 11's not a lot of team have that ice, but if Team Ben W wins here, they're going to equalize this series. After losing the hard points 250 to 129, they need this one to get back into the respawns.
Ice in the veins, brother. Ben has got ice in the veins. He doesn't care. He's chill. He is going to go into a round 11 shrugging his shoulders. Honestly, he does. There's no stage that's going to bring the fear. So honestly, Katana going to need to do something big here. Otherwise, this is just going to be a defensive back and forth. It is going to be Team Ben W on the offensive strategy right now. Aspect just going to be bouncing around, looking to get a little bit of protection up top, joined by another member of Katana. They're going to find no one there, so this is going to be a solid defensive push right the way through. Some information.
They want to flip this.
It's going to be right the way round, and a battle towards the back is something that we don't often see.
Pablo, they have no idea. Everybody's looking forward. You gotta turn around at some point because Cobra's gonna shoot you in the back. 3 go down. It's a bloody kill feed. And Katana blow it up again. The defense is just looking so strong. And in that near moment where you leave a little bit of the map open, it might cost you.
There's no way Ben W does this. Surely not. 35 seconds, plenty of time. Ben in a 1v2. First time for him. Everyone else has been in a clutch situation. He's going to go vents. He's going to see if he can get in and around the back. I'm pretty certain everyone's got their headsets turned as high up as possible. In fact, he's going to completely circumvent the bomb site and try and come through kitchen.
16 seconds.
Behind. This is leaving him very little time. He's checked every corner. Maybe a little bit of information now, but it's not going to be enough. He gets tagged up. And it's going to be Katana game of time. Things we said there was a waft, Colin, and we're now at the round 11, and unsurprisingly, it's been back and forth.
I mean, this is just an incredible set of rounds coming out from both teams, I'd say, for their defense. And just the small mistake of nobody's watching top bedroom or the push through catwalk, and you get 3 members of Katana to flank for free, but you're headed back onto the defense of your Katana, and this is exactly where you want to be. For the other side, for Ben W, there's no better time to get an offensive win than now.
Well, if you're going to break the save, you may as well do it right now in around 11, and it's going to be Prezi on the alternate. He's going to look to try and take vent control, and nicely read, though, there a lot of blue arrows. Very cautious push over towards that B-side, so just trying to mix things up a little bit. There's going to be just a bit of a standoff with the OK Corral a little bit here, mate. No one wanting to make a mistake. No one wanting to lose their grip in the game. Ben W's team obviously wanting to tie the series up, and Katana obviously wanting to march forward with the 1-0 they've already got from the hard point. So it is still only going to be CJP down 3v4.
Lampy slowly
slithering like
his way
a snake
forward. Bomb's going to go down at A, and he's just going to post up in a corner, see if he can find one for free. But a double kill in this is not something you usually see from players. as it's usually checked, but Aspect doesn't get a hit marker. He's not going to know this one, and Lampy might be able to actually play coy to it. Ben W is going to equalize 29 seconds. Could this be it, Pablo? An offensive round to steal it away, but Lampy's going to be spotted. Now you got to go big for the offensive hold. Player in the back overlay. He's all alone, and Aspect rips him off. Katana keep the defensive trend through all 12 rounds, or all 11 rounds. And it is going to be an incredible shutdown there from Katana to take their lead to 2.
Mate, only Skyline could potentially give us a 12th. We need that rewind back so bad, but Katana, yeah, just going to make hay while the defense shines. Incredible performance. Obviously, we've missed out there on the stats because of, the quality of Colcaster, but just big plays coming out of everyone. You could see how tight it was. That really just a little bit of an ode to the quality of Team Ben W and the work that they do, behind the scenes, the scrims time they've put in, so a team that gets overlooked because they're usually outside of the top 4, top 6 kind of European royalty kind of place, rarefied air, but they're always a team that can go the distance and do really well. So someone always to look out for, very well drilled, and you can see they've just nearly put Katana to the sword in that. But I guess it looked like a blowout in hardpoint. That's a comprehensive win for Katana. A lot closer in the S&D, and Control again throws up the respawn problems, but again an opportunity. Maybe how many times, Colin, have we seen the whole game, the whole series turn on its head in Control?
For Katana, there's one notably that I can remember, and it's all the way back in their first game of the Elite when they got reverse swept by Team Notorious. The only team that they were actually able to the only team to actually take maps off of Team Notorious for Katana were those two. So, I mean, it's no surprise with those results, seeing Katana in a 2-0 standing over Team Ben W. I mean, coming out of Group A with that second seed, 4-1, 3 out of the 4 of your map losses being to that reverse sweep from Team Notorious. You can see the quality of this team is something that you would expect to make it all the way through the playoffs, Pablo. But for Ben W, I mean, this is a moment that I'm sure these players always look forward to, is playing these Katana players, trying to take them down. I mean, you have a shot there in the search and destroy. Nobody can get the offensive going. But heading into the Control, you're completely right back into the series. Momentum is back. You just wipe off that hard point, and it starts here for the reverse sweep.
Well, one of the things to always look out for, we're going into a protocol Control with this team, Ben W. Obviously, we know a couple of the players. Obviously, I've cast over Ben so many times, like it's insane. CJP is someone we've cast over a lot, and I've seen him at LAN. But for me, this Control map is going to come down to Lampy. Like, can Lampy keep his head? He is the most passionate Call of Duty player that you'll come across, and at times he can totally dominate a map against anyone. Literally, when he is at 100% like pace and accuracy, you could put him against anyone, he will dominate. But he can lose his head so quickly, and he can get so emotional about the game that I think sometimes he can lose his way. So I think if he's able to kind of bring that passion, but also without the necessary naivety, they could potentially do quite well in this Control map. This game mode lends itself to a player like Lampy, but he's got to go up against someone like Cobra, who again, probably a little bit more level-headed. He's got a lot more, about him in terms of, like, he's been the player in the last couple of years that's been touted to go to the CDL. I think he probably feels a little bit outdone by Super kind of usurping him on it going that bit earlier. But honestly, this could be a battle between Cobra and Lampy, and I just think if Lampy can hit his potential, we're good. I think this could be a Ben W win. Let's see how it goes, though. Some big brains on the Katana side might just make a complete mockery of everything I've said.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I want to see this game go a little bit far. I think for a lot of these early rounds, we normally expect the higher seeded team to win, but you and I, we know the quality of Team Ben W, and we're kind of rearing to see if they can pull through and extend this against Katana. It leave things a little bit up in the air for, European challengers. And if a team like the Underdogs can start to pull things back inside of this series. But Protocol Control, yeah, one of those things that you definitely look forward to seeing the AR battle all in all. But one thing that was really notable on that skyline was the SMG presence from both teams, because how many times did we see either the flank payoff for a sub or over towards that A site, just shoulder to shoulder 1v1s. Brezzy was looking good with the Jackal in hand. Super was looking good as well. But there were some times where we were seeing even Ben W get that clutch up. And CJP with the clutch up as well. You know that battle is going to be something big here on Protocol.
Yeah, fingers crossed it isn't going to be a blowout. There's nothing worse than, when a team can perform to a really good standard and make a great match of it, and then we end up in a horrible slap moment. So fingers crossed that the boys of Ben W are going to be able to bring the fire and bring the passion going into this Protocol control. I can't remember the rest of the map set because I'm a moron and didn't pay any attention to the map screen when it popped up. But obviously, if we do manage to get...
There it is.
Hey, production at its best. Obviously, if we do manage to get a Ben W win on Protocol control, we're going to head right the way back into Skyline in a bit more horse racing commentary, mate. So it's going to be a hard point. So that I absolutely want Ben W to take this map so that we get into that fourth map. Obviously, I want to see this go all the way. But yeah, it would be nice to see a hard point Skyline. I just love the energy and the frenetic nature of the map.
You and me both. It really takes you back to some previous maps that we've had in previous years and previous iterations of Call of Duty, but you got to get through the Protocol control first, and it seems like the players are getting ready to load into this third map as well, and we're looking for some players to note to try to step up for Team Ben W. Obviously, on hardpoint, 250 to 129 is not something that's going to make you feeling comfortable going back into a respawn, but you have to shake those thoughts and reset, because this is it for your team, at least for the winner's side of this bracket. Team Ben W looking to see if they can kick things off, but unfortunately they go down 3 and it's Overlay, the only one pushed up, now trying to hold off at A.
Yeah, it's going to be Super with AR in hand. Expect to see a lot more of the young Spaniard in the CDL if he gets his opportunity off the subs bench with that AR. He's sometimes unplayable at times, but there's going to be Aspect just looking to push up, get a little bit of spawn control. I think he's going to look for that side angle and maybe just to provide a little bit of pressure. Overlay already reading this, is going to push out and get that pick. Nice plays from him. I think he's going to get a surprise in his behind. No, he manages to push through. He's going to do the same and just look to try and get potentially some top control, just so that the boys of Team Ben W can get over towards one of the zones. Right now, Aspect finally gets taken down. 28 seconds on the clock. Colin, not looking great for Team Ben W right now, but they have finally put a foot onto the zone.
So we've gotten rid of the player number 68, but we got 2 player number 4s on the map. That's going to be easy to
we've got
track.
2 player number 5s as well.
Oh, this is interesting to say the least, but Team Ben W going to stop the time at 27 seconds. Aspect from P2 going to have some assist on this break, and it is solid. They clear off those kills. They send everybody back to the respawn, and you do have one of the members of Team Ben W inside top grandmas, but trying to get over towards this zone is going to be the difficult part. They need some kills to back them up. Super towards the middle gun. He can play spoiler to it. The pistol's out. The shots don't connect, and it's Cobra just playing forward, waiting for the teammates to get here so he can make a play.
Yeah, he's just going to pop around, get that pretty easy kill, take the progress, at least contest the progress, but it is going to be a big pick there. That's huge right now. And they're very close on the precipice of getting that A. 7.9 seconds is going to re-forward all the way to 1:05, and it's going to be Overlay already pushing through to get a little bit of time down. He is going to get dealt with immediately, but he's going to take the blue arrows. Just one push right now, bit of a convergence to get through, and now it's going to be a big two-piece call. 52 seconds on the clock, and they've got a little bit of time on that B zone.
The offensive play just waiting for this flank to unfold. Everybody a little bit too far forward. Overlay is going to get caught for this one, and Aspect has mounted some presence in towards P4, but he's going to be all alone. Players dropping, and you even lose your support from top triple, so it's up to Aspect to be the hero of this moment, and he's looking to cut these resources away from them. Finds the player in P4. Time stopped at 39 seconds. Forward, make it 3 lives left for Katana. And Aspect knows he just has to stay alive in this position. Play the time bank, 35 seconds.
That's a big kill in the middle, and it's some big two-piece as well, but it hasn't quite dug Aspect out of that issue. Lampy's just going to drop down Spiral and try and get back onto there just to stop the clock, but it's a little bit of a headless chicken maneuver, and that's going to allow Killy to get those picks, and it is going to be Team Ben W get eliminated. I think it was those get eliminated. I read that correctly. Am I losing my mind there? Crazy.
It was Ben W finding a good chunk of those kills towards the back half of this round. And I mean, what a comeback for Team Ben W as well, Pablo. I mean, you're just getting
Yeah,
spawn
I
trapped
was-
at one point. You had Cobra and Heli, 7.9 seconds and 0 ticks at A. And it converts into a full offensive round win, which, let's be honest, you know, in Control, I'd say Protocol is one of the better maps to get offensive round wins in. I say Vault, you know, you do see that happen quite often, more so than in previous years, but it's still a difficult feat to accomplish when you only have less than 8 seconds to make it happen.
Man, I was like watching it thinking, oh, Achilles going to get this. This seems to be fairly straightforward. Katana have got this. And I took my eye off the ball watching the life count. And then I'm like looking at Lampy thinking, Lampy's having a stinker. And then it's like Team Ben W have won. I was like, no way they've TDM'd that. So hats off to Team Ben W. But what was like, they've snatched victory from the jaws defeat there. Katana letting that slip. So big plays from them. And this is, you know, where if you're a Katana fan, you've got to start worrying. Because if Lampy starts to pick up kills while the rest of the team are playing like this, then they're going to be almost unplayable. And this is exactly the position that he likes to be in and around spawn, causing havoc and causing problems. He has been red though, so 24 lives plays, 21, a little bit of an advantage still to Team Ben W again. No one yet to get a touch onto that A zone, so Colin, advantage to the team in blue.
Trigger discipline, Lampy's chance to get hot, but not able to snap to the second. Overlay going to shoot Cobra out of the air. You're down to 30 seconds left. Ben W, good position to cut some of these resources from this A zone. See if you can find a second one. He has to back down. Rest of the team grouping up through that mid gun to see if they can find an angle in this one. And it's going to be up to Ben W to make that play. Still a player to worry about. It's Aspect, but a nice turnaround. Lampy not able to secure the kill. And just in a moment, it is brushed away. CJP doing his best to at least cut the losses for the rest. There's 15 seconds, and somebody on Katana has to go.
Yeah, this is going to be huge right now. 11 seconds is going to be stopped as he manages to touch onto that B zone. Cobra just managing to get a little bit of time. And again, it is going to just try and split this kind of vision over towards A and B. Super goes absolutely huge in mid. Finally gets taken down as that A zone does start to steep away. 2 seconds on the clock though, Colin. It couldn't be closer to a round loss for Katana Game, and in fact that is going to be all she said for that round. Team Ben W take a 2-0 lead in this Control, and they look bloody good for it as well.
That's just magnificent. Resilience in that first round has sparked a new flame for Team Ben W. And there are some moments where Katana just looked picture perfect, and then poof, it all just wipes away. And Protocol seems to be a little bit of an issue, a mismatch, you'd say. And once those players go rogue in your spawn, you have to dedicate some bodies into taking them away. I mean, you saw that with Lampy, you saw that with CJP, and CJP was doing a good job. Even when you were losing team members over at that A zone, he was still playing Sidewalk and cutting off those reinforcements from the spawn of Katana. So keeping them separate, bleeding them out. Team Ben W, they do not want to give up on this winner's bracket just yet.
Yeah, this is about consistency for them now. They really need to maintain this pace. It's obviously very tricky. Like, pace and concentration at this level is in everything almost. So they just need to maintain them and be ready. They need a plan B, because certainly Katana should have a plan B in the back pocket. But right now it is big plays. 26 lives plays, 26, and there's only a slight bit of time over towards B that's been taken, but it is going to be that kind of like split push potentially. They look to try and split the attentions of Katana. This could work perfectly for them, as A zone Colin is nearly done. The first tick is nearly done, and B is on its way.
Ben's in a great position to play spoiler for the reinforcements, and Aspect tagged up enough. 21 and 12 from the namesake of this squad. Second tick in A is going to be secured. B, a little bit of progress towards the first, but it's just Aspect, or sorry, Lampy in your spawn, running amok. Ben's going to drop down on 4 in a row, stop this clock, and start the transition, but it looks like they want to play some TDM. Good transfer over to Brezzy. Should be able to lock this kill down, but not an easy kill to grab when it's Brezzy just playing his life. 22 versus 14. Katana, last chance to stay alive in this protocol, Pablo.
Yeah, this is going to be huge for them. Again, I mean, we said we wanted Ben W so we could get to that fourth map and fifth map potentially. So, but big plays coming out of the team in blue, looking very solid. And obviously, likes of Overlay, the likes of Ben W's gone huge. No slouches at all. And kind of game and just really off the pace at the minute. This has been kind of prevalent in their gameplay for much of the season, just slightly slower than everyone else. Black Ops games tend to be a little pacier. You know, that's where the skill gap comes in, is the speed that you're able to apply at the highest level. But right now, Katana Gaming well off the pace, double lives down 14-7. It's been very difficult for them. It does look like they're going to try and post up towards this B subterranean section to try and get a little bit of sight using console and trying to get those picks. 13 lives, play 6 though, Colin. For every kill that they're able to get, Team Ben W are able to fight one back as well.
The skills just mounting such a tough effort for Katana to make 3v11, 49 seconds. I mean, this would be an incredible breakdown. But even I haven't seen something like this in a while. The kills coming through for Katana for now. You still have players off spawn, and that's going to be up to Super to make sure you cause some distractions for 32 seconds. They slowly bleed this clock out. That's what you got to worry about, Super. An aspect. Keeping them away from B. 7v8. This is unraveling, Pablo, and there's only 20 seconds. Team Ben W have to be a little bit worried now, as it's down to a 2-life difference, and they just can't get anything going. Katana have shut the door, and this breakdown, it's gigantic on Protocol. You thought it was a shoo-in. You thought there's no way you could toss this into the bin. But here we are. Life advantage now. It's into a 2v2. Good old search and destroy, and it's all down to Super. Can he put this away? Both members onto B. He's got to go, but he can't reach. Ben W pull away, but you are not feeling good about it.
Well, holy, what an end to a game. We thought that they were going to... They snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. Well, they were about to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory with some insane plays. At one point, they were 14-7 ahead in the life count, and then it came down to a 2v2. Are you messing with me? Super ends up on his own time, and at the end of the day, was the one that seen him out. But again, the scores, the KD, not really prevalent at all in terms of what we expect. Ben W, we know, went huge in that, but 3-0, an incredible performance from Team Ben W to put a map onto the board. 2-1 right now to Katana Gaming. And you got to say, Colin, that control, they looked absolutely emphatic at times, surgical. We talked about the passion that these players can bring, and they put Katana straight under pressure. I think they probably felt that S&D was close enough for them to win, and they just thought, right, let's get the control. Mate, they're going into a skyline, which can be anyone's map.
If I'm going to be honest, Pablo, the only round that wasn't close was the second round. Round 1 comes down to less than 8 seconds to capture A. You had 0 ticks, and you're able to slay out, but even you saw Lampy was having trouble. He was 4-10 going into the second round, and I think at one point in round 3, I see he did pull things back. He was 12-16 at one point, so that, you know, kill differential, you know, going into the back half of those, that 3-0 on Protocol, definitely favoring some of those individual moments for the SMGs to go big and block off those respawns. But for that third round to be as close as it is, you're going into the skyline, and Katana are like, guys, what are we doing? Yeah, I know we lost 3-0, but we almost just stole away an 11v3, and that would break Team Ben W. I'm sure that is not the way you wanted to end that 3-0 sweep. And even though you're going to a skyline and things are going to continue to be mixy, I mean, the way that Katana are able to handle that pacing, like you said, I mean, yes, it's a faster game, but you expect these players to lock down those power positions and those lines of sight. It's not going to be any easier onto the skyline to make these plays happen.
I don't know. Control's a weird one for me, Colin. It's got many points of egress and entry. You can get in and out of different places. The routes are slightly more formidable than potentially the routes on Skyline, which I think if you play, you know, kind of out towards that back end part of spawns on either side, you can still get a little bit of control. And obviously we saw Ben W kind of top garden, just controlling that catwalk area. So you can kind of get a bit of distance and get a bit of control and apply kind of suppression. It's not just all SMGs, but obviously we're going to see an SMG every map now. But Skyline, I expect this to be wild. The way the pace that they've been playing these games at, it's going to be incredible. It's not might not be Team Notorious kind of pace, which we know is seems to be 10% more than absolutely everyone else playing Call of Duty right now. But I still expect this to be reasonably high paced, and we go into this with almost the same kind of strategy that we saw in the Control. I expect to see the likes of Ben W going big. He seemed to be so comfortable on Skyline and the S&D. We know this is slightly different, but I don't expect that to change for him. But then we are going to be looking at the likes of Lampy to provide that kind of high intensity, high passion kind of energy, and you want to see him rack up numbers. On Katana's side, we obviously expect to see a little bit of a slower, more methodical pace coming out of Brezzy, but Super has been rocking the SMG. It's normally an AR for him, but he seems so comfortable on this map with it, and obviously we want to see Cobra putting up big numbers as well. So it could be interesting, and obviously I don't want to leave Killy out of that aspect. Is someone that prior to joining Katana, we saw him going on 11, 12 streaks. It was largely on Rewind, which I'm sure he's absolutely gutted over, but we did see him going on a few streaks, so I expect to see him putting up some big numbers as well. But well, this is going to be a tricky one. I actually wouldn't want to call this, and then going into the if Ben W is able to take this is going to be a horrific S&D.
It's going to be a tough one for sure, considering nobody could get an offensive round in that map number 2. But we do have an update, and it is that Team Notorious have 3-0 Team Twisted in their winners round match. That's going to be them pushing into winners round 2 to await the winner of Avenge Esports and Exceptional Gaming. Katana and Team Ben W waiting for Notorious versus Noctum to see who is that winners round 2 match that they're going to be getting. But I'm sure nobody wants to be dropping into that losers bracket in round 1, Pablo. We know how close knit a lot of these teams are in Europe when it comes down to the competition, and teams are always bound for an upset at some point. So you never want to face those teams in that early portion of the game. But we are heading back into that Skyline, like you said. We can take a look at the maps for those who are just tuning in with us, and kind of highlight what we've seen so far. Hard point on Protocol for map 1, 250 to 129 for Katana. Skyline, it's defense for defense all the way to round 11. Katana pull away, and then that Protocol, Team Ben W really laid down the law in a lot of those heroic moments to take a 3-0 sweep, and that to keep this game alive and, you know, kick off what could be a reverse sweep. Now we're heading to the Skyline for map number 4, and Pablo, every single respawn that we've had so far, even the Skyline Search, it's the perfect mix between, you know, a hybrid game style. When you want to run the 1 AR triple sub, you can do that. When you want to pull the 2-2 split for those roles, you can do that as well for Hills. And I feel like Protocol, Hardpoint, and Skyline both provide for those capabilities. And I think for the fact that Katana been there, done that with that first game, it should be no worries going into this map number 4.
Yeah, I think going into number 4, I think that is the choice, isn't it? 2-2 or the 3-1 on the SMGs. But it's just, I don't know, because that Protocol, you know, I know from experience that, like, maybe not Ben W, but Lampy in particular, and maybe CJP, not as quick out the blocks. So they, you know, that it doesn't matter how much they warm up as soon as they hit that first game, not as quick in terms of like getting to that game pace. So the blowout might, I don't know whether that really is representative of the kind of 100% hardpoint gameplay. And obviously, you know, the experience coming out of Katana game, and, you know, we've got CDL players, we've got players going to the CDL, they know how to come into a game hot. So 250 to 129, does that really represent the quality coming out of Team Ben W? Or we've seen, you know, they came so close in the Skyline, and then in the Protocol they've shown just what they can do close to times, but they turned around that game 1. The round 1 was like a complete turnaround. It was, I misread the whole thing completely, thought, oh, Katana have got this, and then the next thing you know, they absolutely blow out in a TDM at the end. So Skyline might just be perfect for them. I think this is exactly where they want to be. If they, you know, if you're going to put them in you walk into a 2-1 down position, what map are you playing? I think these players are picking Skyline Hardpoint. So this could be very interesting. Like, I think this could end up being 2-all. We could be hitting the S&D game 5. I mean, we know we want it. We want to be there at round 11. So let's not pretend we want Ben W's team to get this. But this is an ideal map for them in that sense.
I don't want to speak this into existence, Pop, but how devastating would it be for both of your first matches of the stages to be reverse sweeps against you. Notorious and then Team Ben W. That would be devastating for Katana. And I'm sure they don't want to let that happen at all. For it to happen once is crazy. For it to happen twice in the same stage, both in round ones.
Board, mate. You got to go back to the drawing board if that happens. Back to the lab at the time. It's like
it's just not what you like to see.
The stats. Right, that's when, I mean, we know how violent it is in terms of player changes. That's when everyone starts having you see the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. Well, that's exactly what happens. You get
but you did this. But you did this.
Yeah, so it's just the way it is, isn't it? And confidence is going to be low. So yeah, questions will get raised and all the other shenanigans that goes on behind the scenes. But really, again, you know, they've got to say to themselves that they basically, you know, they let this slip away. At times they looked like they were in complete control. So I'm going to find out whether the cat's among the pigeons or whether the cat's going to be sleeping easy tonight. Cat with a K as well.
Yeah, with a K. The Katana right now. CJP trying to get some time off that hill. Unfortunately, they lose control of top catwalk. It's hard to stay alive without it. 35 seconds still on this hill, and you can see that Team Ben W just electing into try to play favor for the spawn flip. They want that easy transition over to P2, and you saw Overlay was trying to make that happen. Unfortunately for Team Ben W, it's not going to be the case. You're getting time now. This is your focus. You can see that there's still Katana members trying to pull it away. Up top is Super. He's looking for an angle, able to take care of the player towards Jim. Nobody inside of that hard point. 6 seconds on the rotation, and Katana will be here for the setup. Yeah,
this is exactly where they needed to be. They probably put a lot of effort into maintaining this spawn. It's so difficult at times with the amount of kind of like flanking possibilities and routes that can be taken. It's so easy at this pace as well to miss a player, but they've done a good job of being able to hold on to that. It's going to... No one is on the hill at the minute, though. Some red arrows in and around, but they're going to want a little bit more control. That might just herald the signal to get onto there. And indeed, Super is going to be there just to extend that lead out a little bit more. And there's going to be a bit of a trek, and already number one in Achille is going to be over there just looking to try and get a few picks. Not able to do it, though. Nice plays from Team Ben W. It's going to be a straight kind of like push right the way through, and you can see Aspect again gets taken down, loses that gunfight. That could be absolutely vital. With 16 seconds of scrap time, they're not able to do it again. Colin, a nice hold from Katana to make this into a 50-second lead.
3 down again. The respawn so far away. You might have to cut your losses, but look at Aspect's positioning. 6 and 5 on 2 in a row. Gonna look to now safely rotate Katana again as they are in every perfect position that you could ask for this map. Aspect again just staying alive. He's even got the read on Overlay in the back, but kills don't come through, and Team Ben W might have a little bit of reprieve in this moment to see if they can start to soak up some time, but these kills are not clean whatsoever. Finally, a set from Lampy. As 3 go down, Team Ben W, they're going to be in the hill, but a split spawn from Katana is still going to provide a chance where he cannot safely set up for sure. Ben W in the 1v1. Brezzy shuts him down. You get the spawns for P4, but you just cannot give up this time for free.
Yeah, this is a solid 20 seconds of time. Team Ben W really could have done with to stay kind of within that 60-second kind of pace, and they don't want to get beyond a full Hills time. That's when things start to get a little bit trickier. They've managed to get back on for about 10 seconds. That's going to keep them within touching distance, and again, within that kind of Goldilocks zone of 60 seconds. Again, it is going to be big picks, though, and it's going to be Ben W, someone who's been absolutely consistent throughout the series, just doing the heroics there. Colin Lampy with a big 3-piece still. He was on 4 and 8, I believe, at one point. A player that we've yet to see really fulfill his potential, and that's going to be another team nade. Seems like they enjoy just killing themselves with the nades, but it is going to be Katana just pushing on to this P4.
Something about Semtex at your own feet on Skyline just gets you going. I feel 50 points down, Pablo, and it's not even the Semtex that's the biggest issue. It comes down to the slaying as well. 3 down in the feed. Contestions out. It would be a big win for Lampy, and it is. So a small little lapse in time. But Katana just able to pick themselves at the bootstraps and still combat for the rest of this scrap. They have the spawns in the back, so they're just going to hit this one by one. You look into the second set to be a little bit better for Team Ben W.
Yeah, absolutely. And the power of having spawns there just completely exemplified as Katana Gaming able to just constantly flood onto the hill and get that time. But again, this just puts them in a tricky position now, kind of on the back foot for this second rotation P1. So it is going to be a wave of kills they're going to need, and it's largely red skulls that you're seeing on the map. Now, number one in Aspect has made his way across the map and is going to have an opportunity to come in behind. You can see number 7 in Overlay just reading that, that's going to allow them to get the spawn. So they've got a little bit of control on either side of the map, but it's a little tight in terms of geography. And the next wave of gunfights, all important as Katana look to extend this lead out to 30 seconds off, being 100 seconds in point. But that's still quite doable in terms of a comeback. Team Ben W just need one good kill, and they're right back in this.
They do. Unfortunately, CJP gets shut down for that flank. So spawn stay true for Katana. That's been the case for a couple of these Muddy Hills. It's just Katana are so good at locking down the spawns for it. And it was shown in P4. They get majority of that time for P2 as well. That's where a lot of their lead comes from. And now they're looking to do it again. Team Ben W. They read through mid. No, Prezi able to just stay in this spot to punish. Trays back and forth. This is not what you like to see. Ben now looking to take to the streets and see if he can get the break on towards this hill. 3 members here. It's a 3-on-2 for the time. They need the kills. They find the kills and they get in.
Yeah, this is going to be huge column for Team Ben W. An easy 33 seconds, of which at least 15 seconds are going to be free time before those red arrows are able to surge across. And it is going to be Katana just looking to try and get a breakdown on this. So please watch out number 3 there in Cobra, just looking to cause problems over towards the back. He's going to read flat, gets the picks, and that potentially could be all skulls lighting the map up for the team in blue. A little bit of control received by Katana Gaming, who are going to fight for every bit of scrap time, despite how heavy the lead is. It is going to leave them, though, in a tricky position. A bit of a war of attrition now, as we see players going to start battling for this P3. Very difficult kill to try and maintain control of. Katana did okay job in the previous rotation, but this could be a bit of a free-for-all.
Could be. We'll overlay in a little bit of a tussle for that P1. Super not giving it to him easily. 3 down again for Team Ben W, and they're going to be spawning all the way up towards Old at P2. That's going to be quite the trek to get back to this. A lot of time burn. Super up close and personal. Shuts down Ben W. But it is the rest of the team here to help out and assist. Prezi now looking to slide in, see if he can cause some issues. Not going to happen. He's shut down. You still got the better spawns here if you're Katana. So you can layer some pressure into this hill, and Cobra's going to do just that with the slide jackal in hand. He's traded out, and Team Ben W down about 80 points, slowly cutting away at this again.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've got themselves into a good position here. Plenty of opportunities for them to get some trades. It is going to be Aspect who look to try and get the picks from behind, but his little bit of fighting over towards these stairs has allowed the rest of the team to kind of make their way forward. They are trying to get to this hill at pace, but they've just realized everyone's fell. So now it is just going to be a little bit more caution as the players look to stack up. Lampy in a great position there. He does get taken down by Super, though, so Super just going to look to try and get this guard in control. The shot over the back. I don't think that was him, but this could be absolutely huge. Pre-fires the bath, but not able to get it, and that is a nice break from Katana Gaming.
Yeah, and even the read there for last member of the line to pick up the flank, and 3 go down. 70-second lead. That's looking to grow. You can't win here if you're Katana, but every second is just a lead that it seems improbable for Team Ben W to come back from. Still 11 seconds of scrap time. The rotation is here. A few members going to run over to the scrap, but Prezi with the shutdown is just soaking up all of this hill time that you possibly can get from hill 4 into the third set of rotations. It's going to have to be the most pinnacle COD we've seen from Team Ben W. An overlay on the front line with CJP just shutting down a few of these members. 3 down, and they're into the hill.
Yeah, this is big. And they're going to need the absolutely maximum amount of time. It's going to put them over the 200-point threshold, but about 20 seconds shy of parity with Katana Gaming. So plenty of opportunity for Ben W to do this, but this hill is all important, and already it falls to Katana. But the fight back is on, but you feel like they need every single second. Only 24 seconds required for Katana to take this series. So this is so vital for the team in blue that they are able to string the rest of the time on this hill, Colin, and obviously particularly on this P2 in this third rotation.
Here they come. Slide in. They're not able to take Super out. 3 down again. You can't win here. I don't think they get that last ghost tick. even with that last second, but they have the better spawns, and the blue team, they gotta go. Team NW, this is it for your winner's bracket. Picked out of the air, nobody on rotation. 4 seconds is going to count up easily. Secured is Katana for winners round 2 here in the Elite Stage 1 playoff, shaking off the Protocol 3-0 that brought them to Skyline like it was nothing.
Yeah, we felt like this could be a much closer map, and I honestly felt like maybe map 1 not indicative of how the boys at BenW can actually play when it comes to Hardpoint, but again, just very close to the scoreline of that map 1, maybe showing just how strong Katana Gaming are in Hardpoint at the minute, but I'm sure this is a much closer game, a much closer series than they'd have preferred. The S&D 6-5 looking very ropey, and that 3-0 in control, I'm sure they're going to have a strong look at that. Cobra 35 and 27. But for me, obviously, you've got to look to the likes of Lampy and the likes of CJP, 26 and 31, 22 and 32. Probably want to put a better scoreline than that to keep their team in it. But Katana are going to progress with you would say, a convincing. The S&D maybe needs to be looked at, but that's a reasonably convincing victory.
The S&D and maybe a little bit of that protocol control. Maybe this is going to be the auto veto going on forward, but I'm sure a lot of people say, get out of there, Hacienda. We're going to vault or protocol. And for Katana, I mean, first things first, you avoid the reverse sweep. And, that's one thing that you and I were a little bit worried about going into this Skyline is Team BenW. They looked heroic in that map number 3. And a lot of individual pop-off moments led them to that 3-0 sweep to prolong this series. But they just weren't able to get it together in that map number 4. Katana shut them down. Some big plays from, you called them out. The ARs, Cobra was just having a monumental game 4 when it came down to holding down the presence from the top side of the map. And, Aspect even in the hill, we saw towards the P3s. Aspect was really dictating the spawn pace and manipulating exactly where Team BenW were coming from. And as soon as they knew, Super was flying. So Katana are firing on all cylinders there in the hard points. A little bit of work to be done in the S&D and the control, and that's going to move them forward into winners round 2. Pablo awaiting Noctum or Notorious Gaming. We know Team Notorious are moved forward into winners round 2 as well. They got either Exceptional or Avenge Esports to worry about, and from what we understand, BenW drops down, Twisted dropped down. Potential for the two of them to be playing up against each other.
Yeah, that's going to be a nice game as well. I do like both of those sides. I wouldn't like to plant a flag with either of those teams, very evenly matched. But yeah, obviously we're waiting on this Noctum team, Notorious Org result, which would be absolutely huge. Noctum, who have been absolutely on top of EU right now. They went undefeated in God knows how many maps, 12 maps or something crazy. They were on a 12 or crazy map streak. Well, it's finally been ended in a way you kind of expected at this level of the elites, and it's 2-2 right now. So waiting on the results of that.